Is Toronto real estate market about to break? Well, sales are up 40%, inventory is dropping, and prices are slowly creeping up. I would say that buyers are cautious and sellers are very optimistic. Is this the recovery that we've been waiting for, or the calm before the storm? Let's dive into the numbers together and find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dilyar Marat. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto Area. I do most of my business here in the Durham Region, where I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. If you're watching this, all I ask from you is a like and a subscribe. I promise you, you will not be disappointed because I will be dropping a new video every week. With that said, let's get started. The official stats from the Toronto Real Estate Board just came out and the numbers broke the internet. Now, if you're like me, you've probably seen a number of articles like this. So let's cut the fluff and let's get to the bottom of it. Average prices in the GTA are up 2.6% from last year. Now we're hovering around 1,106,000 compared to 1,077,000 November 2023. Now the new listings only went up by 6.6% year over year, but sales, number of homes sold, are up 40% compared to last year. Now keep in mind, last November was one of the slowest Novembers we've had, so you got to keep that in mind, but we're still going in the right direction. So this means the active listings have now dropped to 21,818. So almost 22,000. Now, to put things in perspective, we haven't seen active listings drop down to 22,000 since May of this year. So with that said, I want to show you this chart. It's for active listings. Look at the December 2023 number. It's pretty common for active listings to taper off this time of the year, right? People usually take their houses off the market because we're getting closer to Christmas and New Year. People don't usually list this time of the year. So even with the very minimal buyer demand, the active inventory just naturally drops this time of the year. So this year was no different, right? Active inventory dropping, that's pretty normal, but the fact that sales are creeping up, or actually skyrocketed, if you look at some of the articles, then maybe it is a good sign and we are going in the right direction. Now I pulled up 2 years of data, active inventory from January 2023 all the way up until now. And if you notice, March and April of 2023, we had one of the lowest number of homes for sale across the GTA. And coincidentally, that's when the average prices of homes were the highest. And if you notice here, the inventory skyrockets around September, August. That's when prices drop drastically, and then inventory drops low again, and it creeps up and going back and forth. So if you actually track average prices, it's pretty much the inverse of this, right? When the inventory rises, prices drop, and when inventory drops, prices go up. Speaking of inventory, this is the entire GTA we're talking, right? This is the city of Toronto and all the suburbs around it. So if you want to talk about a sub-market or your home and you want to chat about this in person, feel free to book a meeting with me with the link in my bio. I can sit down over Zoom and walk over step by step and what this means for your home. And downtown Toronto condos have been hurting the most. This is the one segment that's been all over the news. And just a couple months ago, the active inventory, right, or months of inventory in core Toronto, downtown Toronto, was sitting around 8.5 months of inventory, right? Right now, the number just creeped below 6 months, meaning the condos are actually getting absorbed and we are moving in the right direction. The condo market, it's still in a buyer's market, make no mistake, but it is getting better, and it's definitely has gone better compared to, like, let's say August or September. And if we shift our focus over to Durham, so Oshawa, Whitby, Ajax, Pickering, and Clarington, across the board, we are below 3 months of inventory. And here's another interesting fact about the Durham region. So sales to new listing ratio. For those of you who don't know what sales to new listing ratio is, you got to take the new listings, right? And then you take the number of sales. It basically calculates the absorption rate of the new listings in a given month. In other words, it actually shows you how fast the new listings are actually selling. Now, if you look at the detached segment only, okay? The new listings here in the detached segment in the Durham region, we're getting absorbed at around 40 to 45% rate since like June of this year. We see inventory skyrocketed during the summer months or when we got our first rate cut. When Bank of Canada announced its first rate cut in June, the listing inventory kind of skyrocketed, right? And nobody really jumped the gun to buy anything. So the inventory remained really high. But fast forward to November, that number is changing and is changing for the better. So if you look across Durham from Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, Clarington, some parts of Scugog, the new listings are getting absorbed at about 60 to 70% depending on what city. Now, of course, this only applies to detached homes, but that's drastically higher than where we were in August or September or July. Now, the million-dollar question. Where do we think this price is going in the next little while? Well, here's what I think. Next week, I think Bank of Canada will announce a rate cut, and that might be a small 0.25% rate cut, but nonetheless, it's going to help with buyer confidence. But I don't think the prices will go up drastically, because for that to happen, we have to see this trend for at least 3 to 6 months. Because as you know, the inventory across the GTA is still over 22,000, right? We still have quite a bit of homes for sale. So for that to get absorbed and for the prices to really go up, we want to see that active inventory around 15,000, which at this rate, it may take about 3, 4, maybe 5 months for it to get to that level. That's if the demand continues to grow and new listings kind of cool off and remain at the same rate. But if the buyer demand grows and new listings also grow at a rapid pace, then the prices will not go up. It'll most likely stay where they are, or maybe it will drop in certain areas. And with that said, thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a like and leave a comment and possibly subscribe. Thank you and have a wonderful day.